And once you start totting up and doing the maths, it's an utterly terrifying place to be. But solutions exist, and we're here to talk about those solutions. Should we talk a bit, first of all, about why it's important? I tell you, a common refrain I've heard when I've pointed this stuff out to someone is, "Oh, they're not looking for me. Oh, they won't find me," which I find a strange attitude to take straight away. But let's maybe talk about how they might catch up with you.
That is a common refrain. Taxpayers will say, or potential clients may say, "I'm just a small fish. Why would the IRS ever even look for me? How would my name ever pop up on the radar?" Well, one way is just by random chance. The IRS has an algorithm to randomly select people for audit. We can call it the unlucky lottery. It's like getting hit by lightning. Nobody wants to get hit by lightning. Nobody wants to get selected for an NRP or National Research Program audit, but it happens. And when it happens, part of the standard audit question is, do you have any foreign bank accounts? Do you have any foreign investments? And when an IRS agent is asking you that question under oath, you have the option of either one, answering truthfully, or taking the fifth. Either way, the exam is going to continue, and the examination is going to focus on international reporting. But the IRS also has many other avenues of information collecting. Intergovernmental agreements or tax treaties provide the IRS with tremendous amounts of data. When I worked with Chief Counsel, I worked with the Exchange of Information Office that handled treaty exchanges. At times, the IRS, through its treaty partners, received spontaneous tips about taxpayer noncompliance. For example, country one might say, we have some evidence that our citizen is also a green card holder and may be out of compliance, IRS. And guess what? The IRS takes those tips very seriously. Additionally, FATCA and the automatic exchange of information from FATCA partners provides a treasure trove of information for the IRS. So if you're a U.S. citizen or green card holder residing, let's say, in Western Europe, every bank in Western Europe will screen for citizenship and then report that bank account information back to the IRS.
Dan, just on that obviously is a colossal amount of data. And again, no one being able to see into the IRS, one of the kind of like theories that abounds is that this colossal amount of data is just sat there somewhere. And it's either waiting for someone to go through it and discover all these unreported accounts, which, let's be honest, would probably never happen because it's too big a job, or, worryingly now, is waiting for someone to feed it into a system and for AI to trawl it and just throw out discrepancies. Is that a reasonable outcome to think that could happen?
Absolutely. The IRS is greatly improving its data analytics. Since I departed the government, the IRS has publicly touted advancements in data analytics, including the use of AI. But let me talk about what I saw firsthand even before I left. Although the amount of FATCA data is colossal, even using simple data analysis tools, the IRS can select cases that appear to give good audit potential. I'll give you an example. The FATCA data received from Western European banks can easily be compared against Form 8938 reporting and FBAR reporting. Very simple data analytics. A bank is telling us about a colossal account held by taxpayer Smith. Taxpayer Smith didn't file an FBAR or an 8938. That's low-hanging fruit. I also saw firsthand some cases where the FATCA reporting the IRS received from its IGA partners was materially incorrect. For example, a decimal placement error in an account balance could trigger an audit. So the bank might report a maximum balance of 8 million, whereas in reality, the maximum balance is 80,000. And that disconnect can also trigger audits.
Oh, so they come at you thinking you've got 8 million, you've got 80,000. They're not coming at you with smiles and being all nicey. So the message is, well, I've had one tax attorney tell me in response to they're not looking for me, it doesn't matter what the IRS are looking for. It matters what they find. If you have unreported accounts, bank accounts, mutual funds, the PFICs we're talking about, ETFs, pensions, retirement accounts, I think it's very, very foolish to just hope that it will never catch up with you. Maybe it won't, but that's getting less and less. It's getting more and more likely that it will.
That's true. Additionally, the IRS encourages whistleblowers. There's an active whistleblower program. The IRS advertises the awards it'll provide when tips successfully lead to the assessment and collection of tax and penalties. And penalties are a major component of those investigations. Think about willful FBAR penalties. Willful FBAR penalties have now started 160,000 and change per year, or 50% of the bank balance, whichever is greater. So whistleblowers have a strong incentive to provide tips relating to international noncompliance.
Let's talk about how to get into compliance. And I want to preface this with, I've been doing this for 10 years, Dan. And what I've met a lot of people, and as I say, the vast majority of them had I believe have had some form of noncompliance in there. Also, the vast majority, perhaps even every single person I've met, has wanted to do the right thing.